welcome back. Now that the rainy season has set in, many motorists and vehicle owners have been faced with many challenges, from poor visibility to the breakdown of their vehicles. Now, when your vehicle breaks down in the rain, what should you do to stay safe, or what should you do to avoid making the situation worse? Today, we'll be discussing this important topic with the Sector Public Education Officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Delta State Command, DRC Uchenna Nadika. Good morning, sir, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you
got
very
that right.
Of course you
Good
do.
morning.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
Happy
Thank
New
you very
Month
much.
to
Thank you
you.
very much. Happy New Month to you and to our viewers too. It's
Right.
good to be here.
Okay, now the rainy season has set in, like I mentioned earlier. Let's just start with the basics. What are the most common causes of vehicle breakdown during rainy season? I've seen few vehicles break down once it's raining. Vehicles, cars, keke napep, yes, tricycle, keke napep, we call keke napep, break down during the rainy season. So what's the common cause of these breakdowns?
Of course, sometimes breakdowns ordinarily happen with or without the rain. It could happen sunshine, it could happen during the dry season and all of that. But of course, happening during the rain um, takes the risk to another level. It heightens the risk for not just the driver, but even other road users, and all of that. So back to your question, um, the causes differs. There are so many causes, but one major thing is that, of course, you know that water and car components sometimes are not really that palatable. So when it happens, when you find yourself in such conditions, it could ignite an already existing issue in your vehicle. It can escalate it to rather make your vehicle not to move again while under the rain. So this is what I can say is the reason why there is a lot of breakdown,
Okay.
when the rain occurs.
All right, you mentioned that it heightens the risk during the rainy season. So why is it more, or why is it particularly dangerous for a car to break down in the rain compared to during the dry season?
Yes, you mentioned visibility when you were doing your introduction, which is the major disadvantage of rain. When it is raining, you find out that visibility is impaired, and when visibility is impaired, it serves as a risk for most road users, especially drivers. So they might not be able to see your vehicles on time, or
Okay.
maybe where it's spot is a very bad spot and all of that. So that's why it heightens the risk, both for you as a driver and for other road users.
So when a driver notices that their car is failing, what should be the first thing they do? And in a situation like you talked about, how it can also affect other road users, drivers specifically. So how can they move the vehicle up the road? First thing is, what should they do once they notice the car is failing? And then once it has totally failed, what should they do to move the car out of the road?
Okay, so thank you. When a vehicle fails, or when you notice that a vehicle wants to fail, whichever situation, mind you, this situation varies. Do you understand? It is peculiar. It could be tire, it could be brake, it could be engine, anything, and the different the actions are different. The way a tire might cause the vehicle to fail will be different from the way a brake might cause the vehicle to fail.
Okay.
Do you understand? So these are different scenarios. However, generally, if you notice that your vehicle is failing, and all of that, as a driver, first is you don't have to panic. As a driver, you have to be in control, especially when you have other passengers too there. You just have to avoid any form of fear or panic, such that it will throw you off balance. So as a driver, you need to take control of your steering, control of your vehicle entirely. Especially when you are driving, you can hold your vehicle. Make sure that you hold your steering firmly to ensure that you don't drift off the road and all of that. So when you've done that, then you must also target to move off to the shoulder of the road. So first, you have to ensure that you're not accelerating. It depends on the situation. Ensure that you remove your leg from the accelerator, and also put on your trafficator.
Okay.
I would have said put on your hazard first, but the hazard has two pointers. So sometimes it can confuse those behind you. They might not know. Okay, yes, we know that this vehicle is faulty, but what's the movement? What's it trying to
Do you think Nigerians actually see that hazard light as a sign for a faulty vehicle? Because even people in convoys, they fly it, they put it on.
I think a driver would know when a hazard is used for convoy, and when of course when you see a vehicle that is bad, you would notice the way the vehicle is looking, and maybe the movement. The movement might not be coherent. It might not be smooth. Do you understand? And all of that. So you as a driver should take precaution. However, I also understand your point. A lot of drivers are not attentive. They are not sensitive to what is happening, which also calls for more advocacy on that, because some drivers are just enter the steering, enter the road, and they don't really care. That's why it is advised that when you are driving your own, you are also driving for other drivers too. So back to what I was saying, you first of all put on your pointer to the right to clear off to the shoulder of the road,
When you say the shoulder of the road, where's the shoulder of the road?
by the side,
By the side.
by the side. And then you should also be able to avoid calls, because like I said earlier, driving under the rain is all about visibility. And if your vehicle is also failing, then you must also be careful of where you are also parking it. You must park or stop in a place that other vehicles can easily see you. When you park at a bend or a curve, or in some cases bridge and all of that, it makes it difficult for oncoming vehicles to see you, so it puts them at a disadvantage, especially for people that are not even careful. They are speeding and all of that, so they could just bump into your vehicle at the point. So it's important that you clear off, use your pointer, and then when you move to the shoulder of the road, you put on your hazard.
Okay.
Put on your hazard. Yes, immediately put on your hazard.
Okay.
Then I would not advise, we don't advise that you start walking the vehicle under the rain. It depends on the severity of the rain. If it's very heavy, if it's a mild one, and all of that, In all of this, my advice is what we also call common sense. Do you understand? So, like I said, the cases are peculiar. For instance, you know that water and some mechanical components on your vehicle do not go in agreement. So if you open your bonnet in such cases where the rain is heavy, it could also cause more damage for you. Do you understand? So we would advise that you park well, stay in your vehicle, put on your hazard light. If the rain is not that heavy, you can come out and also put on your caution sign,
Okay.
so that you alert other vehicles. You put it on, you put them at the right places, and make sure that vehicles can see it clearly. You put it there, and then put on your hazard light too, because all of them would help notify other road users that your car is faulty and they are supposed to take a caution. But you don't just stop there too. You also ensure that you make calls. Call for your mechanic, call for, if possible, a tow truck or a tow vehicle that is going to tow your vehicle if your vehicle is immovable. Do you understand? And then you make sure that you call for help. If you could find yourself in situations where it is the middle of the night and all of that, you could also source for the contact of the nearest police station and all of that for security and assistance and all of that. So
Okay.
I think basically this is what you are supposed to do.
When Ogaga asked, what should you do when your car breaks down under the rain? I was expecting that you start with letting us know if we should, remain in the car or step out of the car immediately, because I've heard a few persons say when it's raining, or when we watch some of these this sensitization videos and listen to the audios, they tell you when it's raining, don't drive when it's raining heavily. Try to park somewhere and wait until the rain subsides before you drive. So in such cases, should you remain inside the car or step out of the car?
Which case exactly? When the vehicle...
When it's raining heavily, when your vehicle cannot go further, or when your car is faulty, while you're waiting for, because you said you don't even advise that we should fix the car under the rain. So what should we do? Should we be in the car?
You remain in the car, yes.
Wait for
I
rain
said
to
it.
stop,
I said
or should
it.
we step out of the car?
No, where are you going to? The rain is quite heavy, and we are looking at a scenario where there is, maybe you're just on the express.
Maybe you look for somewhere to stay under until I don't know.
Well,
So you stay in the car.
we advise that you stay in the car. Stay in the car, put on your hazard light. As the case may be, you can also put on your headlamp. If you are at a single lane road, you understand, you can also put on your headlamp and dim it, put on your hazard light. All of this thing is for clear visibility. so that people are able to identify that this is a vehicle. This vehicle is stationed here, and this vehicle is not good. So please take caution. And also, we are also looking at your safety. When you're under the rain or trying to walk your vehicle, under the rain, the risk also increases. That's why it's good that you wait till the rain settles so that you are able to walk more successfully, and then while the rain is also going on, you're able to make some contacts so that once the rain stops, there is solution immediately.
Okay, during the rainy season, what emergency items should driver have in their cars? They say prevention is better than
It's better than cure.
So, what emergency items should I have? Should, in case maybe it's raining and my car gets stuck or my car breaks down, what emergency items should I
Okay,
have?
so first of all, I think there was a program we had here some time ago, and I mentioned that the best way to avoid some of these incidents is to also avoid driving under the rain.
But what if the rain starts
Do
immediately?
you understand?
You step out or
Yes.
halfway through your journey?
If
rain
it
just
starts and you're on the way, it's better that you also look for a good location and park. Because a lot of times when you see these breakdowns happen, it's because of the flooded roads. And find out that the vehicle has already come in contact with water, and the water has been able to get access to where it's not supposed to get access to. Do you understand? And these things happen. But if you had waited, parked, especially when you know that, yeah, of course it's raining heavily, so just clear off the road somewhere safe and wait for the rain to be over, before you continue your movement. So when we do all of these things, it's going to be better for us. However, when you find yourself in such situations, first of all, it is important that your vehicle is in good shape, which is why we always preach vehicle maintenance, and we also say early morning vehicle parade. What's that early morning vehicle parade? We expect that at least you put on your vehicle every morning, right? As a vehicle owner, sometimes you warm your vehicle, sometimes it's that morning that you also take your vehicle out. So what do? Before you put on your vehicle? You walk around your vehicle, observe some minor issues, look under your vehicle. Is there any oil drop you are seeing there? Look around your vehicle too. Are there any unique changes that you are seeing, and all of that? Then check the necessary things you're supposed to check in the vehicle. When you're also checking both your engine oil, brake fluid,
What about emergency
brake pad.
items? No emergency items?
No, I'm coming. When you check all of this, you also check that your tires are in order, because you need good tires, especially this rainy season. We've said it that when your tires are smooth, especially like that of your face, something as smooth as your face, it makes it easier for hydroplaning, on the road. And that hydroplaning just makes it, when the road is wet, there will be less contact between the tire and the road, and all of that. So check all of these things. Ensure that your wipers are okay. Ensure that your wipers are okay. Ensure that your lights are working. Your pointers are working, because oftentimes too, you find out that even when you on the hazard light, you find out that maybe it's only the left light that is working, or only the right light, and it hasn't done the work it's supposed to do.
Okay.
All of those things are good. Then one safety item that you must need is your caution sign.
Caution sign, okay.
Yes, it is important that you have your caution sign. It's also important that your AC is working. Because if you are in the car, let's take for instance now, something happens and you find yourself in that situation, you would need some fresh air. You need some good air to be able to survive in the vehicle. Do you understand? Especially when everywhere is wound up and all of that. So please ensure that your AC is working, as important as it may be. You also need your jack. You also need your tire to be in good condition. That is what we call your spare tire. Sometimes we mistake it. Some people play down on the spare tire, because they call it spare, which is why we are taught the word extra tire, so that that is quite important as your other tires. So when you have these safety items there, your jack, your caution sign, your tire, ensure that your wipers are working, ensure that your lights are very much okay, and all of that, I think is going to make your journey much more better. And when you find yourself in such situations, it's going to be easier for you.
Okay, you stated earlier about how water can be quite disastrous to the components and parts of vehicles. Now, so how should motorists respond when their vehicle breaks down in a flooded or waterlogged area. So what should be their response at that point in time?
Okay, so oftentimes when people find themselves in such situations, especially when the car goes off, they try as much as possible to start the vehicle again and all of that, continuously, and it could be disastrous for the vehicle.
Okay.
What I would always advise, just like I advised before, when the vehicle, for instance, the vehicle does not just stop moving if you're in motion, except for when you are in a traffic gridlock. Do you understand? But when you are in motion and you notice that your vehicle is failing, pull off to the shoulder of the road. First, pull off on your pointers and stop. Allow the rain to stop.
So even if it's a flooded area,
What,
because
what can you do?
when you say the shoulder of the road, you know how Nigerians, using Nigerian roads as a practical example.
It's more
So
flooded on the shoulder of the road
wait.
than the middle of the road.
So when you're pulling up to the shoulder, you're leaving your vehicle in a waterlogged area.
Okay, so I'm going to make you understand something. First, you can't risk other road users. Do you understand? So, except you are in a traffic gridlock, like I said, where I know that your vehicle is stationary, and maybe at that point, that was when it stopped responding. Do you understand? That is the only condition that may be permissible for you to leave your vehicle there. Do you understand? And because there is traffic, of course, there is going to be slow movement of vehicles, so they can easily spot that this vehicle is not good when you put on your hazard and all of that. Do you understand me? But where you are in a movable condition and your vehicle breaks down, please, even if the shoulder of the road is flooded, move your vehicle back there, because you're not going to be risking the lives of other road users who will be using the other side of the road. Of course, it's going to be very busy. Do you understand? And then when your vehicle is parked there, you are going to be risking, because a lot of these drivers might not be even seeing clearly. They might not be able to observe that something is happening in front. And like I told you, the rain impairs vision when it is falling. Do you understand? And you might not also expect that the vehicle has AC. Maybe there is no fog on the screen and all of that. So to be safe, not just for yourself but for other road users, it is important that you move to the shoulder of the road. But you have to be very careful. Of course, that's why we say common sense. Your common sense should be able to measure this road and know that, okay, this, at least there should be some sort of sensitivity and foresight. Yes, you should be able to know that, okay, this is the measurement of this road, so I should be able to be careful, carefully park, at the shoulder, on the shoulder of the road. You might not necessarily get to the extreme. It depends on the situation. Like I told you, there are peculiar situations that might move you to do what you are going to do at the point. However, it is important that you move to the shoulder of the road, put on your hazard light. If the rain is heavy, stay in the vehicle. If it is not, you can come out.
All right, because of time, let's just quickly go to where you are directly involved, or I want to ask a question that directly involves you and the FRSC.
Okay.
Now, when it's raining and the car breaks down, how responsive is the FRSC in responding to emergencies like this, helping people? Can a car owner call you
to
call
tow their
FRSC,
vehicle or something?
to tow their vehicle or to help them in emergencies like this?
Okay, yes. Of course, we have a toll-free line, which is 122. We respond to emergencies, to crashes, and as the case may be. Once you call the number, they are going to signal the nearest command closest to you for such situations. It is important that you call. Even if it's not a help that we can render, we will try as much as possible to notify whether it's an agency or whoever that can give you assistance at that point. Do you understand? If it's something that we can do, we'll definitely offer our help, and we'll ensure that we do it.
And this help is free?
Of course. As the case may be, it can be free.
Do you tow vehicles?
We tow vehicles, but not always for free. For some vehicles, it attracts but a very minimum charge, such that you cannot obtain it anywhere. And let me also state this, that for accident victims or for for crashes and all of that, in most cases it's free. Do you understand? It's free. However, we can also contact. We don't really have much tow vehicles. I think in Delta State we have only one 30-ton tow vehicle, and is for big articulated vehicles. So even if you call us, the most we can do is to inform any of these tow trucks within all these private tow trucks, or maybe we can contact Decima, as the case may be, to offer help. And if you are contacting the private tow trucks, definitely you're going to pay a fee to them.
So
It's
this
not
is
free.
is this a way of for us to join the FRSC and appeal to the government to provide more tolling vehicles for the
Oh, please,
FRSC?
we really appreciate
and what
that.
they are
Alright,
providing,
so
we will not
please, the
charge. You
government-
will not charge.
Of course, we'll do our
Render free
best.
services
We'll
to
do our best.
citizens. All right, thank you
We'll do
so
our
much.
best.
Because of time, what message would you like to leave with motorists as we navigate this rainy season?
Okay, so the truth is, rainy season has come. There is no way we cannot chase it. It has come. It has come. So all we need to do is to guard ourselves and be more careful. Remember to be a defensive driver. We've said it always that defensive drivers anticipate danger and they always work towards avoiding those dangers. So please be a defensive driver. Always drive to stay alive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DRC Uchenna Nadika, for joining us today and giving us practical tips on how to stay safe and what to do should our cars break down in the rain. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
just before we wrap up, Okaga, let's have your final.
Thank you for your time. Okay, May happens to be Workers' Month and all of that. So, as an individual, as a worker in Nigeria, know that you are a stakeholder to the development of Nigeria. Do well to play your part. Yes, get yourself